Morning, everybody. Patrick here, trying to make sure I get a vlog up at least once a week at some point. Probably not always the same day, but at least once a week. So got a lot of positive feedback. People I think like seeing something. Definitely want to be chronicling all the new stuff that Crash Games has going on that I'm really excited about, talking about stuff when I can, being ambiguously vague when I can't, which will be a lot in the front part. But I promise if you follow with me, if you just hang in there, that this isn't just speculative, blind taunting. It's real stuff. So I just want to make sure to dot the I's and cross the T's before I can tell you about stuff. I got some spec art in for a couple games, looking really good. Got our production schedule lined up for the upcoming year. Really excited about that. I should be able to talk about that within the next couple weeks. I'll have contracts signed and all that good stuff, and we'll be able to tell you about what's coming out. Just checked the shipping vessel update for Pirate Den, Council of Verona Corruption, and Where Art Thou Romeo Deluxe, and that has just left Japan. It got loaded up in China on Thursday, and it looks like it's headed off from Japan. You might notice a raft and a volleyball on the shipping path. Well said, I'm sorry. I made that joke yesterday. I was showing a team member the vessel, and I'm like, "Do you see that?" And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "You see the raft and the volleyball?" And I went into, "Well said." It was pretty great. I don't know if that played well here or not. Probably not. It just sounds like me being weird, which is what I do. So I don't plan it. I'm just me. Really excited tonight. I'm meeting with a good friend of mine, Joe Costa, on Twitter. He's either at the Costasaurus Rex or at Costasaurus Rex. I'm not quite sure. I just put at Joe and it fills in his name for me. So him and I are going to be starting a podcast, and it's something that we've talked about quite a bit, and something that we are really, really excited to do. And it's not going to be the typical fare that you think it might be. It's not going to be us just on there talking about games. There is a lot of podcasts out there where people are just talking about games, and I don't want to be just another podcast. So I hope that you guys like the format that we've come up with. I'm going to leave that a bit ambiguous at this point as we flesh it out and come up with details. But the thing that's good to know is I think it's going to be really fun to listen to. And that's what matters the most to me, is that Joe and I have a really good energy and a really good synergy with each other. We just kind of build off each other. We're kind of both goofballs. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun and entertaining. And then, of course, at some point, we're going to mention games. Like, how could we not? It's such a big part of our lives. But it's not going to be the sole focus. I would not classify it as a board gaming podcast. So we're have our first production meeting for that tonight, and then I believe we're going to record 4 or 5 before we release it, since it's the holiday season and timing can be busy. We don't want it to be on a released schedule. We want to have the first six or so in the can, kind of like a new show starting out. So, pardon me while I get over a cold a little bit. But look for that. Look for that coming soon. Really pumped about that. In random rant, every morning I check my email, I check my Twitter feed, I check my Facebook feed. It's a bit of a routine that I go through. I'd probably say I spend about 30 to 40 minutes in bed on my phone when I wake up. It's really hard to get out of my bed because my dog Toulouse curls up in my back, and it's very warm. It's like a little heating pad. And I don't like that he sits in his kennel all day, so I also try to spend a little time with him before I go off to work for the day. So I was reading through my feed, and I saw something from Pat Rothfuss. I'm a big fan of Pat, and the surprising part is I haven't read any of his books. I'm just about finished with The Martian, and then I'm going to start In the Name of the Wind. I'm really excited to start it, but I'm just a fan of the man. I've heard him speak several times, and um, I really like what he always has to say. I guess I have read the Not a Kids book. I always forget the name, but it's fantastic. I've interacted with Pat at Gen Con. I was fortunate enough to have a dinner with him in a cool group, and on Joko as well. I'm just a big fan of the guy and his style and his attitude, and so I follow him on Twitter and Facebook. And something popped up into my feed of just one of the nastiest, most vile comments I had ever seen um, about people getting mad that he hasn't finished book three. Um, wow, like the creative process is a process. You can't, I can't sit down and write something, and I am actually writing a novel. I can't sit down and write and just pound it out like I'm sending out board games. Like that's easy. It's defined. Like I put a thing in a package, I make sure it's not going to get damaged. I put the label on it, and out it goes. Creative process isn't like that. It's a journey. And wow, I don't understand. I don't know if it's a perception on my part or the fact that negativity online gets played up a lot more, but I really get frustrated when I see an attack on creative people, particularly for their creative things. And I don't know if it's because they can't create and they're frustrated, or if they love a thing so much they're just blinded with rage. I don't know. But regardless, be nice to your creative people. It takes a lot of time, effort, and energy to make things for you. And when they're done, they're done. And that's the gist of it. So don't want to spend too much time on that. Just wanted, for some odd reason, Pat sees us hang in there, man. We're all playing Fallout 4 right now. We all need our time. We all need our time. So I've been playing a lot of Fallout 4. Not a lot. I'm actually being really disciplined with it because Crash Games is in such an important time period right now. I think I've given myself 2 to 3 hours each night to do it, and it's generally coming at a sacrifice of sleep. Um, but also been doing a lot of reading. So trying to think what else I can show you. Ooh, I do have a juicy tidbit I can show you. I'm not going to tell you what it's for, but I'm just going to show you an awesome thing. This is a score track. These are pieces. This is the box. This is a prototype of something that I'm working on. Yeah. Pretty cool. Just a quick shot there for you. I think that it's going to be really exciting. I really like it. And that's about it right now. Going to be at BGG Con next week. Get in on Tuesday night. And I won't be running a booth. I have a bunch of meetings scheduled, but I'll be there playing some games and entering the Teach tournament, in which I will dominate. I don't know if I'll dominate, but I sure do love Tichu. Crash Games is actually an Ultimate Geek sponsor as well for BGG Con, and we are sponsoring the Tichu tournament. So had a lot of fun getting the prize pack for the Tichu players together. If I win it, I'll just give I'll give the prizes to whoever finished after. Again, I will dominate the Tichu tournament. So that's it for now, guys. Not much else to share with you. Hopefully I'll be able to record a vlog next week, but it is BGG Con, so worst case scenario, I'll hit you up before Thanksgiving. Until then, take care, and thanks so much for caring about and supporting Crash Games.